Okay. All right.
Okay. Hi, you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? Well, just when you thought there was no one else for the three kings to fight outside of them fighting against each other, now we have a new top contender in the lightweight division, and his name is Raymond Muratalla. He's coming off of two impressive knockout wins back-to-back against Muratalla and Diego Torres. Tim Bradley, who covered the fight, he was extremely impressed with Muratalla's performance. He even went so far as to saying that Muratalla would beat Keyshawn Davis. But regardless of who wins that fight, Muratalla is a contender. Keyshawn Davis is still a prospect, which is the reason why the fights that would make the most sense for Muratalla would be against one of the three kings, Devin Haney, Gervonta Tank Davis, or Shakur Stevenson. After Muratalla's last knockout win over Torres, he said that he was ready for everyone. Now, it doesn't really mean a whole lot when you hear a fighter say after a fight that he's ready for everyone. It usually means a whole lot more when the fighter is actually mentioning names. So after Muratalla said he's ready for everyone, the reporter, he kind of pushed him and kind of forced him to actually call someone out. And he said, Muratalla that is, he said he wants Devin Haney because Devin Haney has all the belts at 135, even though he's already moved up to 140, and there's a very good chance Devin Haney might not go back down to 130 or 135. Now, I found it pretty interesting, though, because Team Muratalla, they mentioned all three of the kings in the lightweight division. Now, Muratalla's trainer, Robert Garcia, he spoke on Shakur Stevenson. And by his own admission, he believes that Shakur Stevenson would be the most difficult fight out of all of them. But of course, naturally, he also said that he felt his fighter would be ready to fight all of them today. But then when it came to what Robert Garcia said about Gervonta Tank Davis, Robert Garcia, he made it sound as if they had no interest at all in fighting Davis. Someone on Twitter, they posted Gervonta Tank Davis versus Muratalla, said it was a firefight, and asked the question, who wins this one? Robert Garcia actually responded to the question, or responded to the post, and instead of him sounding like a very confident trainer and saying that his fighter would beat Gervonta hands down, he just responded by saying, what's the rehydration clause and what gloves will we be forced to use? That sounds like a trainer that deep down feels his fighter cannot beat Gervonta Tank Davis. I mean, the fight is not even in negotiations, and Robert Garcia is already talking as if they're already turning down the fight. Why would you be talking about rehydration clauses when, first of all, they both fight at 135? This is not analogous to the Ryan Garcia situation, where Ryan Garcia, he wanted to move up to 140 right before the Gervonta Tank Davis fight. When it comes to Muratalla and Tank, they both already fight at 135. And I don't believe Muratalla is talking about moving up to 140 in his very next fight because he's having a hard time making 135. So it makes no sense for Robert Garcia to be talking about rehydration clauses. And then Robert Garcia talks about being forced to use gloves that they don't want to use, as if Gervonta Tank Davis is not one of the biggest knockout artists in the sport, if not the biggest. If anything, it would be more expected for Robert Garcia and his fighter to request special gloves that are softer, not Gervonta. So Gervonta, he actually responded to what Robert Garcia said, and he said this: on my mama, that ass. And then Gervonta, he deleted his post. You see, the one thing about Gervonta Tank Davis is, even though he always says something negative about his rivals, when he talks about Muratalla, you can clearly tell he feels that that's a much easier fight than a Devin Haney or a Shakur Stevenson fight would be. So my point is, I truly believe that Gervonta would love to get Muratalla in the ring as soon as possible if he could. In fact, I have a feeling that all three of the kings are going to be trying to race to get the Muratalla fight first. And it makes a lot of sense because right now Muratalla, he has a lot of buzz surrounding his name right now. They're already talking about Muratalla the same way they were talking about fighters like Virgil Ortiz and Jose Valenzuela not too long ago, which is what would make a Davis versus Muratalla fight, or a Shakur Stevenson, a Devin Haney versus Muratalla fight, a pretty big fight. So let's see which one of the three kings will end up getting the Muratalla fight first. With that being said, I'm gonna wrap this video up. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, the fever blisters, diabetic ulcers, this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called Elo Diki Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to elodiki.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram.